Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gordon Frayne. We are back with another video. Today we're doing an updated price prediction for Ondo. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button below, hit subscribe, smash that bell notification icon, and you've got a completely free book, The Rise of Bitcoin, waiting for you in the description below this video. Go ahead, grab it now, and let's talk about Ondo. So, we've been discussing real-world asset tokenization and Ondo a lot on this channel over the past year and a half. You can go out and check some of the historical videos. I'll leave them at the top of the screen here for Ondo specifically. But what's been happening with Ondo over the past couple of months is naturally, since we had those middle of December highs and the market running up in the immediate aftermath of the US presidential election, Ondo has pulled back substantially in line with Bitcoin and most of the rest of the altcoin market. So getting all the way up to these prices around $2.14 by the 15th of December. That was the local high for Ondo. You can see we've put in a series of lower highs since that time frame, and Q1 has been pretty rough for Ondo and most of the altcoin market in general. However, we're seeing a nice little bit of a bounce here in the past couple of weeks, and that's what I want to hone in on today, as well as some other macro sentiment and news in the real world asset tokenization space. So what we're seeing here since these April 7th lows is that Ondo has been moving up and to the right. Again, we technically broke out of the downtrend Ondo has been in for the past number of months by the time we got to the 11th of April here. And you can actually see we came right down to retest the trend line once again. We got a bounce and a consolidation period for a few days before beginning to move higher. And again, a lot of this is being helped and driven by what's happening with Bitcoin. We can see that Bitcoin has made a very large move since that April 7th timeframe. Bitcoin is up, technically speaking, from this trough to peak by about 28%. So that is a big move for Bitcoin. And if we jump back to Ondo, we can see that on a percentage basis itself, Ondo has made about a 55% move from trough to peak here over that same time period. Again, the other big indicator I'm looking at is global M2 liquidity and how Bitcoin has started to follow global M2 here over the past week or two and is starting to move to the upside. I'm expecting or anticipating Bitcoin to continue following global M2 to the upside over the next month or two, and I think that will bode well for altcoins just like Ondo, because you can see when Bitcoin makes a 10, 15, 20% move, Ondo is making a move that is exponentially larger on a percentage basis. So this uptrend that we're in right now, breaking out of the downtrend since those middle of December highs, bodes pretty well for Ondo over the next month or two, given all that global M2 liquidity rise and Bitcoin following it to the upside. You can see that we moved here to create a breakout towards the 200-day simple moving average. We didn't quite get up as high as that. We did go as high as about $1.05, but we're trying to move back towards and reclaim that 200-day simple moving average as the next key level of resistance. I'd love to see Ondo breaking above that to give it the permission to move even higher, retesting levels maybe around $1.57 and then moving on to retest previous all-time highs above that $2 mark. The other big contention happening in the real world asset space over the past few weeks has been around Mantra Ohm. So Mantra and Ondo were essentially the two leaders in the real world asset tokenization narrative, and we saw the complete breakdown of Ondo's price here with essentially a liquidation event happening across multiple different centralized exchanges in tandem, forcing the price and liquidation of many people holding the Ondo token, the Ohm token, to completely plummet. And we saw prices move from $6.40 all the way down to 51 cents where we are today. So very interesting things happening here, almost suspicious activity happening with regards to the liquidation events that occurred here over a very short period of time. around the 13th of April. And for me, what that has really opened up is the ability for Ondo to push on to become the true leader in this real world asset tokenization narrative. So Ondo is still moving steadily to the upside after Mantra has had a complete collapse in terms of not just price, but in terms of trust, in terms of authority, and everything happening in the background with that entire project. So Mantra is, I guess you could say, taking a back seat for the moment, while Ondo has the ability to push on and become the real leader when it comes to real world asset tokenization. The other thing I'm always keeping an eye on is what's actually happening on chain, what's happening with regards to actual tokenization, and how is Ondo being leveraged. And we can jump over here to see, using RWA.xyz, that Ondo is being leveraged by BlackRock, one of the world's leading asset managers, and many other businesses in order to tokenize US treasuries on chain. We can look at the BlackRock Biddle Fund, which is leveraging Ondo's infrastructure. Over here, they've gone from 40 million in tokenized treasuries on chain in March of last year. Fast forwarding 12 months, we have over $2.5 billion of tokenized treasuries with the BlackRock Biddle Fund alone. And if I scroll down here, you can see the protocols being used. Ondo is the second largest protocol being leveraged for tokenization of US treasuries when it comes to all of the competitors in this space. Again, majority of this activity happening on Ethereum, some of it on Solana, Arbitrum, off-chain stuff happening, Avalanche, Aptos, Polygon, etc. But interesting to see that Ondo itself is the second largest protocol being leveraged for tokenization of US treasuries. I think that bodes well, not just now, but into the future as BlackRock continues to grow. We're hearing Larry Fink calling on the SEC for the the push to give greater regulatory clarity about the ability for institutions like BlackRock to be able to go ahead and tokenize stocks on chain as well. And I think what you're going to see is Ondo emerge as a leading protocol. It's already a leading protocol, but continue to gain market share in this RWA narrative. If we jump over to the Ondo dominance chart very, very quickly as well, this is another important chart to consider. We did have Ondo getting up as high as 0.15% dominance here in the middle of February. We don't have data going back any further. It actually might have been even a little bit higher by the time we were at those December highs. I'm guessing it could have been up around the 0.17, 0.18 area. In any case, this is an important metric to track because, as you'll see in the price prediction in a moment, we do look at the dominance level of the asset related against the rest of the market to help determine what type of price target we could see for that individual token. Okay, Ondo making big moves. I think, like I said, the landscape has opened up. Mantra has seen the complete fallout of price and trust. And I do think Ondo has the ability to kick on, retest all-time highs over the coming months, and move beyond those as well. So let's talk about our price targets. As always, I'm going to give you a bear case, base case, and bull case price target for Ondo. And just given everything that's happened in this RWA narrative over the past few weeks, with Mantra losing so much trust in the market and this narrative, I have revised my price target for Ondo upwards ever so slightly, because as the two leading RWA protocols, I think Ondo has the ability to capture an even larger market share now that Mantra is somewhat taking a backseat and a little bit out of the picture. So again, we do have to plug in certain variables. This is not financial advice, guys. Always do your own research. But again, I have to make my best estimate here for where I think these three different variables will get to for total crypto market cap, dominance percentage of Ondo, and again, how many Ondo tokens are going to be in circulation by the peak of the cycle. So what we're looking at in a bear case is total crypto market cap getting as high as $5 trillion US. If Ondo can get up to a 0.3% dominance level, which is a little bit more than doubling its current dominance, that would give us a $15 billion market cap for Ondo. And dividing that by 3.4 billion Ondo tokens brings us out to a $4.41 price target for Ondo in a bear case scenario. Next up, we've got the base case. And in the base case, what we're thinking is total crypto market cap could peak ever so slightly higher towards 7 trillion US dollars. If Ondo can get up to 0.4% dominance, that's going to give us a $28 billion market cap and an $8.23 price target per Ondo token by the peak of the cycle. Okay, last but definitely not least is the most bullish case scenario. What we're looking at here is the potential for total crypto market cap to go as high as 9 trillion US dollars, Ondo getting up to 0.52% dominance, total market cap for Ondo reaching in excess of $46 billion, giving us a potential high or price target in a bull case scenario of $13.76. Okay, this is definitely a bull case. We would need the stars to align a little bit. We would need to see Ondo really kicking on to become the true leader in terms of real world asset tokenization in the crypto space. We would also need to see the RWA narrative continue to gain traction and be one of the leading narratives in this cycle for Ondo to be getting up to this kind of dominance level. But if the stars align, if we get there, that bull case is definitely possibly on the cards. Okay, I think the base case is definitely a little bit more realistic, but we can see that Ondo has moved up over 50% since those lows on that April 7th time frame. And we're starting to move back towards that 200-day simple moving average. We're in a bit of an uptrend since breaking out in that 11th of April timeframe. Again, none of this is financial advice, guys. If you're interested in learning more about how you can level up your skill set in terms of providing liquidity, in terms of generating fees and yield with decentralized finance, taking back control of your financial future, check out the link in the description below this video for the UIG community. I'm helping a whole bunch of clients generate cash flow, earn yield, make money every single day with decentralized finance. If you want to do that for yourself, check out the link below, check out the UIG. There's actually a completely free course over there for you as well. And we're also sponsored by Femex, the most efficient crypto trading and investment platform. Again, if you want to check out Ondo, purchase Ondo, trade Ondo, you can do that over on Femex. Again, nothing in this video is financial advice, guys. I will leave a link for Femex with bonuses for you in the description of this video as well. Again, if you got any value at all out of today's video, it would mean the world if you gave it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification icon, and you've got a completely free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin linked below the video in the description. Grab it now, and we'll catch you in the next one.